Hello, mister. Hello. Hello. Hi, are you happy? This is one very happy kitty. So, I actually thought today, move it up to my face because you can't deal with all this goodness. You can't deal with all this goodness. Hi, I'm Nicole. Welcome back to She Starts Saving on what I hope is going to be the first in a series that I'm creating called Little Lift Fridays. I had intended to do, a nice setup because I fixed my tripod and kind of figured out the dodgy lighting in my room and was like, I'm going to stage it all properly. And then this little face decided he wants cuddles. So that's a little lift right there. Do excuse my voice. I was on a film set yesterday, not the big film job. This was just a one-day shoot only, and it's 8:30 in the UK. I got in at 2 a.m. and then this one had me up at 6 a.m. wanting breakfast. So I've not really slept, and when I don't sleep, I get a tired voice. So we're gonna battle through, and I'm hoping I can actually get this edited and turned around and released today, which would be fantastic. So yes, brief intro. This was going to be nicely framed and set up and shot, and then he decided he was going to do his own thing. And I will forgive him because he was left for 13 hours by himself yesterday. He did very well. So he can have all the cuddles in the world. Yes, you can. Hi. Say hi. Yeah. I had this idea partly because of something that happened yesterday. Now, obviously, I did the shoot and I got paid. Well, I will be getting paid today due to people that I was speaking with, people that I worked with, and it kind of it really served as a reminder that when you are on kind of trying to get your finances sorted, I've got an itchy nose because I've got a cat fur flying around. Oh, this is going so well. When you're obviously trying to either get financially current, or you're on your debt-free journey, or you're on a low income and you may or may not have debt, that it can be really, really hard to sometimes see the positive things, especially if you're on it for the long haul, or your situation's really kind of topsy-turvy financially, as mine is. And actually it's the little things. They can be financial, they can be materialistic, they can be something as simple as having the cat on your lap, giving you lots of love and cuddles. So they can be free as well, but the things that just really remind you that it is worth sticking in there and good things do come to you. If you are faith-based, as I am, in my personal belief and practice, then I have been asking for clarity and guidance and support on my journey, and therefore, yes, I know, sorry, I'm just getting a look, and therefore, however that comes to me, I will obviously gratefully receive in whatever form it is. So little lifts I'm hoping is just I can kind of do as a recurring thing. There isn't a schedule yet because it's the first one, and we'll be talking about that going forward and as a little series, and obviously like this Feel Good Friday and things like that, but yeah, no, I ain't getting caught up in that. But this came about because I have had to pretty much stop wearing makeup, which is a little bit upsetting for me because I do love makeup, and the very first credit card I ever had, sorry, I've got cat fur flying around everywhere, so I'm just gonna have to deal with this because he's molting. Sorry, oh, so much editing. The very first credit card that I ever had, I don't have it anymore. It is wiped and gone. I bought the entire Benefit makeup range. That's how much I loved makeup. Shouldn't have put it on the credit card. Regretted it not long after I got it, but I loved that range. And then I have very, very, very I have eczema. It's worse on my legs, but it started to flare up on my face after time, and I actually developed a severe intolerance to the Benefit makeup after about 3 or 4 years of using it. Obviously, you've bought the entire range, you're pretty much then tied in, especially if you want to carry on with it. But I was so crap with money at the time, I didn't care about the cost, and I was just replacing items as and when. But when I developed this intolerance, it then meant that the whole lot had to go, because I didn't know what I was reacting to. So I would probably say there was about £600 to £700 worth of makeup that I'd had to dispose of at the time. And then by this point, it was 3 or 4 years down the line, so we're probably up to like 2017 to 2018, I want to say, and my income wasn't as good. I didn't have the credit cards, so I was having to replace it with cheap makeup and like high street store makeup and things, which isn't a problem, but I will have a reaction to something after a year of using it, after a day of using it, and it's very, very hit and miss, and therefore quite expensive. So when I'd obviously finished my job, or when I was working, should I say, full time, I was able to kind of get the odd eyeliner here or there, or the odd mascara and things, and there was very little risk because they weren't expensive. And if they didn't work, I would either throw them away or I'd give them to my sister, who isn't as sensitive, and that was okay. It was fine, but obviously, we know the saga, the full-time job finished, the new job hasn't happened, and then subsequent employment has also been patchy. So actually spending on makeup has really been is not even on the list of things to consider. But it has meant that in order for me to stretch out the stuff that I do have that is currently working for me, kind of, in terms of like my eyeliner and my mascara and things like that, I've had to really limit how much I use. So, I would love to be able to come on a video and put makeup on and things, and have a really, and feel put together, and feel things like that. Stop nudging me. But I haven't, because I can't justify the use of it when I need to stretch it out, because I can't afford to replace those items. One of the first things that I really have wanted to replace for such a long time is foundation. But that has been the one thing where I can't just go out and buy a drugstore or a high street store brand, because of the sensitivity of my skin and because of the red undertones and things like that, and the eczema itself. If I were to put on foundation from any drugstore brand, it would maybe give me coverage-ish for about 3 to 4 hours from the moment I apply it, and then it then goes very, very flaky. The redness of my cheeks flares up, it looks patchy, and it will be that way regardless of whether I reapply or not. I can put primer on and moisturiser, I can do all the layers, so it doesn't work. So foundation is something that I just couldn't even consider wanted, have felt like I've needed at times, because I don't feel like I've been able to present the best face, and therefore the best foot forward, because I felt self-conscious about not being put together. So yesterday I was on a shoot, as I mentioned, with another makeup designer, a different lady who I've worked with 3 or 4 times before. She's crackers. She's absolutely bonkers, but she's one of the best people I know. Interestingly, we worked on a shoot together in September when I was trying to decide what to do about the film, and she was even the one that said to me, and she's been in the industry for 20 odd years, she said to me, it'd be really great if you could keep your full-time job on and do the film. At the time that wasn't an option. So this was the first time we'd had a chance to really catch up in person, and so everyone has highs and lows within this industry, so she was aware of that, and so we were just chatting, and I was filling her in and stuff, and she said to me, do you want some foundation? And I thought she was just thinking, I'll put a little bit on your skin, and I was like, oh, well, if you want to, put a little bit on my skin for me, of course you can. She was like, no, do you want some foundation? I was like, right. She goes, no. She's like, I've got a couple of foundations for you. I don't use them. They've been open, but they've not been used. I've got time to have them. So she gave me. I'm really hoping you can see this. So this is a tinted moisturiser foundation. This bit's broken, but you can unscrew it fine and get in there, and she did the whole shade test and things, and she kind of had a look on the back and was like, you should be fine. And also it's free, so I will be fine. And then she also gave me this, Don't know if you can see. Hang on. Which, hi, yes, I know. Which is a tinted, like a tinted moisturiser. Just to give like that really sheer kind of coverage, so it's not sitting as heavy on my skin. And then she gave me a bronzing brush, and I could have cried because it was just. I mean, I know there are people and there are beauty bloggers and, you know, women's wellness bloggers and blah, 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 like, you shouldn't have to wear makeup. And, you know, yes, I shouldn't have to, but actually it's how I feel. That's the most important. I shouldn't have to want to lose weight, but I want to do it because of how I feel, etc., etc. So she gave me those, and then she turned around and she said, "Can you curl hair?" My own hair... it's very difficult to curl your own hair, if anyone has tried. And for makeup designers and makeup artists, if you can do hair and non-prosthetics based makeup very, very well, a lot of them have a secondary income doing kind of bridal hair and makeup and event hair and makeup, and she can actually pretty much now pay her bills on her brides, basically, and can take on film work as a love, which is fantastic for her. But she said to me, she said, if you can practice curling hair and getting good on curling hair, I'll pay you. I'm up your way all the time. I'll pay you to curl the hair. She said, because that can take me over an hour, and I'm actually having to now turn away large bridal parties of bridesmaids, mother of the bride, because I can't get it all done because it's just her. She said, you know, and we'll have the dates in advance. She said, I'll take you up there, or you can meet me there. She said, so have you got any wigs to practice on? Because obviously, you know, if you're a makeup designer or a makeup artist, you have kind of the things that freak me out, the heads with to practice on. But I do have a polystyrene milliner's hat block thing that you can rest a wig on. And she said, practice curling on that, practice doing it in the layers. She said, the amount of time you would save me means I can actually commit to these large groups, which is therefore more money. I can factor the cost of you in. She said, so I'm not losing out, and they're not aware anyway. She said, the time that would save me and the money that would earn me, she said, it's worth it. She said, get some wigs. So I now have to go home to my parents and dig the wigs out from the garage and get practicing and send me the results, she said. And then what we could even do more is actually then get you practicing on just kind of basic makeup coverage and building foundation and things and doing it that way, which is fantastic because at the minute I don't really have a side hustle, it's all hustle. I've been kind of very much relying on the goodwill of the live action roleplay reenactment Renaissance fair community to want to buy the things that I'm making. I have been very lucky, but I'm not counting my chickens until they've hatched, and they haven't hatched yet, I don't think. So that was amazing. And I didn't want to I was trying to like play it cool and stuff, but I just say to her afterwards, I was like, thank you, that means so much to me, like, you have no idea. And she said, you know, she said, you will get through it. She's like, you've had a shit time of it, she said, but you know, we'll do what we can and we'll pull you through as an industry, because that's what we should be doing. And then the director who I've worked with before, he gave me the cash to put the petrol in my car, because he said, you know, because of the amount you're getting paid, normally in the past he's paid cash overall, but it was a lot higher wage actually for this shoot. He said, I'll have to do a formal invoice and I won't be able to pay that until the end of today, which is Friday, when he gets in and he's processed his paperwork at his end. He said, but he said, you know, have you got any fuel receipts? Because obviously you put fuel in. And I went, no, I've not filled up yet. And I'd had bought, so I've been able to, as I go, I've been like doing the 52-week challenge. So I had some money stashed there. So I'd kind of taken that with me as a kind of, you know, if I need to put petrol in, etc., I'll do it. But I was going to do it on the way back, on the drive back. He was like, well, I'll just give you the £30 cash, which was my fuel. He said, and then just send me the receipt. So I've got that, and I will be filling up later, and that invoice has gone over this morning. But he also caters really, really well, and it wasn't a full catered thing, but like tea and biscuits. Oh my gosh. And at the end there was tons of biscuits left, and he just went, take what you want. So I know they're not diet friendly, I do just want to put that out there. But I'm not turning down a double twin pack, full pack of Maryland chocolate chip cookies unopened. They will do me fantastically well. So yesterday was a win in so many ways, and financially as well. Obviously it was my first proper paid job of the year, but then it also got me thinking about the other little things that have happened. So I am going to try and speed up, because already up to 17 minutes without editing, and that's not what I intended. So last weekend, my parents, well, I'm going to say my grandparents had excellent timing and had both of my respective parents within a week of each other, which means that financially I have two very important birthdays 7 days apart. But last weekend was the middle weekend in between, and Dad said to me, can you we're gonna surprise Mum. So it was a big surprise because she didn't expect to see all of us together. He managed to wrangle all three kids from all over the UK back in one place for the weekend, and we went out and we went to Bury St Edmunds. We did the Abbey, which is free to get in. Dad, they basically just went, look, we very rarely get all three of you together. It's been a long time since we've treated you for the sake of being able to treat you as our kids, which kind of made me feel a little bit like, you've already given me tons of money and you've kept me in my flat, so I don't want you to treat me. And they were like, no, this is completely separate. This is us as your parents wanting to treat you to something that you either want or you need. And we're in Waterstones, and all three of you are readers, so you can all pick, you know, a book or something like that. And I said, well, look, I don't really need a book. I'm trying to shift the stuff that I need. And Mum was like, well, we're going to the Body Shop afterwards, because I need something. If you see something in there that you feel you need, because I'm trying to weigh up the want and the versus the need with anything that I do purchase. If there's anything in there, let's go. Fantastic. Because I've been, before I left my full-time job and then over Christmas and things, I've been trying to improve my facial skin care routine, eczema, things like that, and the Body Shop aloe range, not sponsored, is the only thing that I found so far that doesn't give me a reaction, because it's like fantastic. It's just free of everything horrible. So I've been building up the range and building up the pieces to try and implement a 5-step skin care routine for the first time in my entire adult life, and I'm nearly 28. So there were a couple of things that are on like my wish list, that I thought, well, I'll put that on my birthday list and someone can get me that for my birthday, and I'll do without like the facial wash and the replacement moisturiser and stuff. I don't have to anymore. It was 3 for 2. So I was able to replace, courtesy of Mum and Dad, the aloe contour, because I get really bad eczema around my eyes. And then obviously it was cheapest one free, so I got 2 of the facial washes. So yeah, and that was just a generally lovely weekend anyway, although the amount of driving I've done this week has not been nice because the weather conditions have been awful. So yeah, those are my little lifts. I'm hopefully going to try and edit out a lot of the waffling and the rubbish, so this is shorter. This was not how I intended it to be. And maybe next time the cat will allow me to actually set up properly, but I'm not going to complain, because I didn't come back to any mess, if you know what I mean, because he sometimes decides not to use the litter tray, and I may have had to have done in the past laundry at 3 o'clock in the morning, and that laundry was my bedding. So I'm not going to complain. He can have all the cuddles he wants. He's now off my lap. Fantastic. And I'm actually also seeing my sister today on very little sleep. So I'm going to go have my first coffee of the day and try and get some work done, and then maybe actually properly get dressed. So I'll see you next time. Let me know what your little lifts are down in the comments below. Thank you to anyone who has come over from Instagram. You guys have been following me in an amazing quantity that I didn't expect, considering I'm just generally horrific at social media and despise the thing generally. But thank you so much. If you have come over from there, I do appreciate it. And it's been actually very great as well, connecting with the people in the UK who are either on the Dave Ramsey plan, because there's not many of us in the UK, or are following something very, very similar. So it's been great being able to see those as well and get that kind of direct inspiration, because you Americans are great at saving money, but your Roth IRAs and your X, Y, and Z, like, I can't get my head around them. I'm really sorry they don't exist over here, and they confuse the ton out of me as a result. So yeah, on that note, thank you for watching She Starts Saving. I have been Nicole. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, leave your comment down below, follow me on Instagram if you haven't, and I will see you next time. If it's not the next Little Lifts video, it's going to be the February budget. Yeah, see you next time. Bye.